Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam overview class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padikamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नित्यनामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam overview class. We are discussing from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and last time we discussed how Balramji he went to make a truce between Kurus and the Yadus because Samba he kidnapped Lakshmana, the daughter of Duryodhan, and all the Kuru members they became very angry, and six of them went headed by Karna, and they arrested Samba. So Balramji he went to pacify and bring back Samba, but on the contrary they started criticizing all the Yadus. And then Balramji, to show his power, he just separated Yamuna, separated the entire Hastinapur, and he was about to drown the entire Yamuna in entire Hastinapur in the Ganges. All the Kuru members they realized their mistake, and then they surrendered and offered beautiful prayers to Balramji. And then Duryodhan he gave lots of dowry, and he presented Samba and Lakshmana. So Parikshit Maharaj wanted to hear about the glories of Balramji. So Shukdev Goswami he described about Balramji killing Dvivida, Balramji dragging Yamuna, and Balramji just separating entire Hastinapur. So now Shukdev Goswami he continues the story. So we'll be discussing today the 69th chapter, which is entitled Narad Muni visits Lord Krishna's palaces in Dwarka. So Shukdev Goswami he says that Lord Krishna had killed Narkasur, and then he married 16,000 princesses who were captured by Bhaumasur, Narkasur. And Narad Muni, one day he desired to see how Krishna is staying with all his queens. So Narad Muni thought it very interesting that Lord Krishna is simultaneously staying. He simultaneously married all these 16,000 queens, princesses, and he gave all of them separate palace. So therefore Narad Muni he wanted to hear, and he wanted to see about the various activities of Dwarka, of Krishna. So Narad Muni, thinking this, he went to Dwarka. Dwarka was a very, very beautifully designed city. So when Narad Muni enters Dwarka, the city, the beauty of the city of Dwarka is described. The city was full of the various birds and the bees who were humming, and the birds were making very nice sounds. There were beautiful parks, gardens, lakes, and in those lakes there were beautiful, beautiful flowers like indivar and ambuja. They were growing, making the entire surroundings fragrant with their fragrance. And along with that, in those lakes, there were various birds like swans and cranes. So this Dwarka, it was a metropolitan city. There were 900,000 palaces in Dwarka. It was a full of all the sophisticated roadways, and everything was very nice. All these palaces, they were not ordinary palaces made up of brick or mud. They were made up of silver and crystals. It had beautiful emerald bedecked walls. The palaces, there was no need for illumination, because the entire palace was full of shining jewels, and the jewels, they would illuminate the entire place. There was a well defined traffic system there, roadways, and there were intersections and highways were there. So that is the beauty of Dwarka. So in Dwarka, Shukdev Goswami tells that Narad Muni went to the beautiful, most beautiful of all the palaces, the personal private quarters. Out of those 900,000 palaces, Krishna, he had made 16,000 palaces for his queens, and they were most beautiful. And Vishwakarma, he had shown his full blown divine skills to make all these palaces, and it was very, very beautiful, decorated. So that was the beauty of the palaces. So Narad Muni entered one of those palaces. So Shukdev Goswami tells that, actually Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur tells that Narad Muni first entered the palace of Rukmini Devi. So the palace of Rukmini Devi is described. The pillars were inlaid with Vaidurya gems, and the walls were bedecked with sapphires, and the floors, they were glowing because of the effulgence. And in these palaces, Twashta, he had arranged for beautiful canopy which has pearls on its border. It was hanging, all over the place, and the entire atmosphere, entire palace was shining, effulgent. Even the maid servants, they were dressed beautifully, and they were having lots of jewelry on their neck, and they were wearing nice garments. Even the guards, although they were wearing very powerful armor, but they were wearing lots of jewelry, and they were also wearing very nice silken cloth. So that was the beauty of the palace of Rukmini Devi. It was so very beautiful, and because the palace was full of various shining chandeliers which were made of jewels, so the light which was coming from the jewels were illuminating the entire palace. On the ridges of the palace, there were various peacocks, and they were they were making very loud sound. The aguru which was burning in the palace, it was creating a cloud. It was creating a huge, lots of smoke, fragrant, and the peacocks, they thought that, oh, these are the clouds, and seeing those clouds, they started dancing. So Krishna, as soon as he saw, so Shukdev Goswami says that Krishna was sitting with his wife Rukmini Devi, and who is Krishna? He's a upholder of all the religious principles. Because of Krishna, all the religious principles are working properly. He's Dharma Setu. Because of Krishna, all the religious principles, they are working properly. They are in place, they are maintained. So Krishna, he was sitting with his wife, and Rukmini Devi, she was serving him very nicely personally. She was fanning, although she had so many maid servants who were also beautifully decorated. But she was doing the personal service to Lord. So Krishna, as soon as he saw that, oh, Narad Muni has come, immediately he rose from his bed and he offered his obeisances. He bowed down in front of Narad Muni. So Srila Prabhupada, he describes that actually, one should not think that Krishna is doing all this to purify himself. So what Supreme Lord Krishna did, he first of all, he washed the feet of Narad Muni, and then he put the water on his head. He is Brahmanya Dev, Go Brahmanya Hitaya Cha. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Go Brahmanya Hitaya Cha. So he is lover of Brahmanas. For Krishna, the Brahmanas are very, very dear. And we know in the third canto, when the four Kumaras, when they enter Vaikuntha and they curse Jai Vijay, when Lord comes out, he glorifies the Brahmanas so much. And Lord tells that actually, how do I get the power to purify the world? Because I am taking the dust of the Brahmanas' feet on my head. Even Lakshmi Devi is not willing to give me up, although I have no attraction for her, because I am servant of Brahmanas. Na Shri Viraktim Apimam Vijahati Yasya Preksha Lavartha Itare Niyaman Vahanti. So Lakshmi Devi, to get her favor, all the devatas and everybody, they are hankering. So many things they are doing. But Lakshmi Devi, she is not giving me up. Although I am not attached, because I am servant of Brahmanas. So that is the greatness of the Lord. Why Lord is glorifying Brahmanas? Because if Lord will not glorify, if Lord will not show by his personal example, then entire world will go into ruins. Utsideyuri me loka nakuryam karma chedaham sankarasya chakartasyam upahanyamima praja. Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, if I will not perform my work, although I have no work to do, namama karmani limpanti name karma phale spriha, there is no work for me, but still I am working, because if I will not do, people will follow me and the entire world will be ruined. So Lord is not washing Narad Muni's feet to purify himself, because water which has washed his feet, Ganga Devi is purifying the entire universe. So what is the need for Lord to do that? He's just doing so that people, a nice example can be given to all the people in general. So after worshipping Narad Muni very nicely, and he was given a nice comfortable seat, and all the nice reception was given by Krishna, and Krishna started speaking with Narad Muni. He said, "Oh Narad Muni, what may I do for you? You are our Lord and Master." Very sweet words. It said, Shukdev Goswami saying, he started speaking in measured words, which were very, very sweet and attractive. The measured speech of Krishna. So when Supreme Lord speaks, the speech of the Lord is full of so many wonderful qualities. Charu chitrapadam slakshnam rishtam gudham aviklavam sarvesham upakarartham tadanuvadanyava. Charu, the words of Supreme Lord, they are very, very pleasing. Chitrapadam, they are full of metaphors. Slakshnam, they are very precise. Slakshnam, rishtam, grave. Aviklavam, without any duplicitous. Sarvesham upakarartham. It is for the welfare of everyone. So Krishna, he started speaking in such a beautiful language. It was so very attractive. So when Krishna, he asked, So Narad Muni said, "Oh my Lord, it is not surprising that although you are friends to all, but still you punish those who are sinful. You are doing it to, you are doing all this to bestow the highest welfare on everybody." So he's saying, Chakravarti Thakur writes that for the Brahmanas like me, who are worshipping you with devotion, your worshipping us gives us pain, gives us displeasure. And the great souls like Uddhava and Vidura, you know, who serve you, they feel sorrow when, you know, you are giving them respect. And then there are some people who are like animals, they are ignorant. You give them your mercy by casting your glance on them. And there are some people who are evil people like Kamsa or Jarasandha. You punish them. So all these activities which you are doing, it is for the benefit. It is for the benefit of everyone. You are the benefactor of everyone. You know. So therefore, he glorifies the Supreme Lord. Lord may tell, "Oh great sage, but what is the purpose? Why you have come? Please tell me. Do you want to stay here or go somewhere else? Please tell me the purpose." So he says, "Drishtam tavangriyugalam janatapavargam brahmadibhirridi vichintyamagadabodai samsarakupapatitottarnavalambam dhyayam charamyanugrahan yatha smriti syat." So expecting this question from Supreme Lord, "Oh, what is the purpose of your visit?" So Narad Muni is telling, "Drishtam tavangriyugalam janatapavargam drishtam." Oh my Lord, today I have seen your lotus feet. This lotus feet is janata apavargam. It can give liberation to your devotees. Even Brahma, Shiva, and all the great devatas, they cannot understand your glories. Your glories are unfathomable. Even Lord Shesha is singing your glories since beginning of the creation. He has not come to an end. Sesho dhunapi samavastanasya param. Even Ananta Shesh has not come to an end. Sansara kupatitottaranavalambam. Oh my Lord, anybody who wants to cross this ocean of material existence, your lotus feet are the only resort, only shelter. By taking shelter of your lotus feet, anybody can cross this ocean of material existence. Therefore, dhyayam sharamyanugrahan. Please favor me so that I can constantly think of your lotus feet. So that I can, wherever I travel, I should always remember your lotus feet. So that is the benediction which Narad Muni is asking. And then after this, Narad Muni took permission from Krishna and then he entered another palace. So now Narad Muni is visiting all the 16,000 palaces. How is it possible? So it is said that Narad Muni, he came to visit Krishna during evening time. And with the speed of mind, he was traveling to all these palaces. So he entered now the palace of Satyabhama to witness what Supreme Lord is doing here. So he saw that, he was playing dice with Satyabhama. And Uddhav was also there. As soon as Krishna saw Narad Muni, immediately he got up as if, he has not seen only. Yeah, he met just Uddhav, Narad Muni some time back. But then he got up and asked, "Oh, when did you arrive? What can the needy person like us do for you?" You are full in them yourself. You don't need anything. So when Narad Muni, he heard this, he was completely astonished. He was astonished by the power of Krishna's potency. Such a great actor, as if he is not seen only Krishna, this Narad Muni. So he just got up. He could not even speak. He was astonished. He simply got up, offered obeisances, and left for another palace. And then in some palace, he saw Narad Muni, Krishna is taking care of his children very affectionately. In some palace, he is going for bath. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes that actually Narad Muni is traveling at the speed of mind to all these palaces. So Krishna, he also responds according to the desires of his devotees. So Narad Muni wanted to visit all the places, all the palaces, and he wanted to see what Krishna does throughout the day. So within that one moment, in one moment, Narad Muni went all over all the palaces. In one moment, Krishna revealed the entire day's activities to Narad Muni. So now we'll see, as Narad Muni is going to various palaces, he is actually seeing Krishna doing a particular activity, at a certain point of day. So now in one palace he was going to take bath. That means it was early morning. Early morning, Krishna was taking care. He was doing his morning duties. Then in some place he was offering oblations in the fire, sacrificial fire. He was giving some charity to the Brahmanas in other palace, and he was eating the remnants in another palace. Somewhere he saw that Krishna is doing some ritualistic ceremonies. He was chanting Gayatri mantra. Elsewhere he saw that Krishna was practicing sword and shield. That was noon time. So Brahma Muhurta, getting up, going to take bath, then offering rituals. Then afternoon time, taking practicing sword and shield. And then somewhere he saw that he was riding horses and elephants. Somewhere he was taking rest. That was night time. So many things he's seeing. All the activities he was seeing, Narad Muni was seeing. Somewhere he was having consultation with Uddhava. Somewhere he was playing with his queens in the water, in the lakes. That was the afternoon time. Somewhere he was giving charity to the Brahmanas, charity of cows, which was decorated with all the jewelry and the silver plated hooves and gold plated horns and very nicely covered cloths. The cows he was giving in charity to all the Brahmanas. Somewhere he was listening to the epics, narration of the Puranas. It is said that Chakravarti Thakur writes that during the 6th and 7th part of the day, one should hear the Puranas. That means in afternoon and the evening time. So Narad Muni, he saw all these activities. Somewhere he was, enjoying the company of a certain wife. Somewhere he was taking care of the family matters. Somewhere he was performing some ritualistic ceremonies. Somewhere Narad Muni saw that Krishna was sitting alone and he was meditating on himself. Because, whatever Krishna does, Krishna is playing a role of an ideal householder. So just like householders, they should get up early in the morning and then they should do the meditation, chanting. So on whom Krishna will meditate? So he is meditating on himself. So this is Brahma Muhurta. Srila Prabhupada writes a very beautiful chapter in Krishna book, describing in detail. Prabhupada is explaining in great detail that just because Krishna is meditating on himself, one should not imitate and think, oh, I will also meditate on myself only. No, you have to follow the instructions of the Lord. In some place, he was rendering service to his devotees. He was serving Brahmanas, serving Vaishnavas. Some place he was planning for the battles. Some place he was planning for the peace message. He was thinking about the Pandavas, how to create auspiciousness for the Pandavas. So Narad Muni is seeing all that. Somewhere he saw that Krishna is performing marriage ceremonies of his sons and daughters and granddaughters and grandsons. Somewhere Krishna was receiving the daughter, somewhere sending the daughters after marriage. So many activities Krishna was doing. Somewhere Krishna was worshipping the Devatas, the Brahmanas, and all the other respected members of the Brahman family, Brahmanical society. And somewhere he was doing the activities of public welfare. Somewhere he was disguising himself, just like the kings. They would roam around in the city in disguise to know what people are thinking about him. So Krishna, imitating the activities of an ordinary human, ordinary king, he was also roaming in the city in disguise in order to find what his kings, what his ministers are thinking about him. What is the need for Krishna to do all that? Krishna is Supreme Lord. He is Antaryami. He is omniscient. He is a supreme Kshetragya. He knows every thought which is going on in the mind of every living entity. What is the need for him to do all this? To set a right example. So Narad Muni, when he saw such display of activities by Supreme Lord, he started smiling because he was thinking, when he saw Krishna roaming in disguise, he smiled. He thought, oh, he is omniscient Lord. What is the need for him to do this? But he just restrained his laughter and he just smiled. And therefore, Narad Muni then starts offering beautiful prayers. Vidama yoga maya ste durdarsha bimayinam yogeshwaratman nirbhata bhavatpada nishevaya. He's telling now, oh my Lord, now Vidama Yoga Maya, now we can understand your mystic potencies. Durdarsha Pimainam, even great sages and mystics, they cannot also understand who are you. You are very difficult to realize. Nobody can understand the Lord by his own power. Only when Lord shows mercy, only when the devotees of the Lord show mercy, then we can understand him. Otherwise, it is not possible to understand Krishna. It is very, very difficult to understand Krishna's pastimes. Athapi te deva padambujadvaya prasadaleshanugrihita evahi janati tattvam bhagavan mahimno na chanya eko pichiram vichinvan. Athapi te deva padambujadvaya prasad. Anybody who has got lesh matra prasad of the Supreme Lord, the mercy of the Supreme Lord, he can understand. Janati tattvam bhagavan mahimno, they can understand the Lord. Otherwise, na chanya eko pichiram vichinvan. Otherwise, even if somebody tries for millions of lifetimes, they will not be able to understand you. So therefore, by our speculative power, by our knowledge, by our wealth, by our intellectual capacity, we cannot understand the Lord. We can please the Lord, we can know about the Lord only by devotional service. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. So Narad Muni is telling, Durdarsha api yomaina. Even the great mystics cannot know you. Yogeshwaratman, you are Yogeshwara, you are the supreme super soul, supreme soul of all the souls. You are the master of all the mystic powers. Nirbhata bhavat pada nishevaya. And only by your mercy I have been able to receive your, perceive your powers. Otherwise it is not possible. Nobody can understand. Then Narad Muni tells, oh my Lord, please give me leave so that, what I want to do? I want to go and sing your glories all over the world, which are the only source of purification. That is the wonderful nature of hearing Krishna Katha. As soon as somebody hears Krishna Katha and becomes happy, automatic outcome is he wants to spread this knowledge to others. He wants to teach this to others. He wants to share that joy with others. That is preaching. Preaching means to share the joy of Krishna consciousness, because that is the only thing which can purify the whole world. यस्याखिलामीव हवि सुमंगलै वाचो विमिश्रा गुणकर्म जन्मभि प्राणन्ति शुम्भन्ति पुनन्ति वै जगत् यास्ताद् विरक्ता शवशोभनामति. It is described, yasya akhil amiva, whatever sins which are there in this world, sumangale, habi sumangale, they can be destroyed. How? Vacho vimishra gunakarma janmabhi, by hearing the words describing the guna, karma and janma of the Lord, the qualities, the pastimes and the birth of the Lord. In fact, these qualities, these pastimes, they prananti shumbhanti punanti vai jagat, they enliven this world, they purify the world and they animate the world. Otherwise, if Krishna Katha is not there, everything we do in this world, it is like decorating a dead corpse. What is the use of that? Shava Shobhana. It is like the decoration of a dead body. So therefore, Narad Muni is telling, oh my Lord, please give me permission. Because now after seeing all these astonishing pastimes, I cannot maintain my steadiness. I want to speak this. I want to tell this to the whole world. Please permit me and leave. Because, Narad Muni is thinking, Lord may say, if you stay here for a while, you'll understand. Because, earlier he said nobody can understand. So Krishna may tell, please you stay here so that you can understand. Narad Muni is telling, no. I don't want to wait. I cannot wait to preach this message of Krishna consciousness. Please give me permission. So that is the nature of a devotee. Devotees can't help but preach the glories of Krishna. Actually, that is the pleasure in this world. As Bhavananda Prabhu, when he got his name, he asked Prabhupada, what is the meaning of Bhavananda? So Prabhupada, he was thinking it is Bhavananda, one who gets pleasure in Bhava. Prabhupada said, one who gets pleasure in this material world, that is Bhavananda. So he got confused. It is a, name of a materialist or a devotee. So Prabhupada said, and so the Bhavananda Prabhupada asked, so who can get pleasure in this world, Prabhupada? Prabhupada said, only pleasure in this material world is to preach the message of Krishna. That is what Narad Muni is doing all over the place. Therefore, he is telling, I cannot wait. Please show mercy, give me your blessing so that I can go and speak this message to everyone. So Narad Muni, as he made this request, Krishna, he wanted to dispel the distress of Narad Muni. Because Narad Muni is thinking, oh my Lord, I have made such a mistake. You have washed my feet. It is such an offense. Even great sages and devatas, they are hankering to have your darshan. And you are worshipped by great devatas and you have worshipped me. So Narad Muni was feeling distress. So Krishna, he tells, Brahman dharmasya vaktaham karta tat anumodita tat shikshayannimam lokam astita putramakida. He's telling, O Putra, O my son, do not be disturbed. I am the protector of the religion. He's telling why I am doing this, why I washed your feet, because I have to protect the dharma. If I will not do, then who will serve the Brahmanas? I am the protector, I am the performer, and I am the sanctioner of dharmic principles. Therefore, I am observing, I am personally practicing all these religious principles to teach them, to teach the world. So Narad Muni was thinking, oh, I am a devoted servant, but it is a great sorrow that Lord has washed my feet. So Krishna is telling you, don't worry. I am there to teach these principles of Brahminical culture to all the world. So you don't be sad that I washed your feet. You know, because if I will not worship Brahmanas, then who will worship Brahmanas? Who will follow? So therefore, just to teach them, I have washed your feet today. And then, he says, Krishna is telling, you remember before I began my pastimes in Mathura, after I killed Keshi, you had come to Mathura, you had come to Vrindavan, and you had reminded me of my purpose of appearance in this world to establish the principles of Dharma. You remember that? That's what I am doing. So Narad Muni is telling that may be the case, but you know, I have committed offense because you drank the water which has washed my feet. So Krishna tells, oh my son, don't worry about that. Affectionately, he's telling, oh my son, don't worry. Just like when a small child kicks his father with his feet, the father does not become angry and he is not offended. So therefore, you are my son. There is no offense if I touch your feet and wash your feet and drink your foot wash. So that's how Narad Muni, that's how Krishna is pacifying Narad Muni's distress. So then Shukdev Goswami says that Narad Muni, after being, blessed by the Lord, and he saw the mercy of the Lord and beautiful manifestation of the power, he was satisfied and he went and he started traveling all over the world, glorifying the pastimes of the Lord. That is how Lord imitated the behavior of an ordinary human to set a right standard for everybody to follow. Although he was enjoying with all these queens, but he was following all the dharmic principles. And then in the end, Shukdev Goswami tells the Falastuti. His Lord is a creator, maintainer, and destroyer of the entire universe. And anybody who chants, hears, glorifies, and appreciates the activities of the Lord which he is performing in his avatar will surely develop pure devotional service unto him. So these pastimes which Lord is performing, they are sufficient to give one pure devotional service. Prema bhakti. अथान्यदपि कृष्णस्य तोकाचरितमद्भुतं मानुषं रूपमासाद्य ततजाति अनुरुन्धतः. So the pastimes which Krishna has performed as a small child, as a human, they are most astonishing. And they can give even pure devotional service. So that is the end of this chapter. Then the 70th chapter, which is entitled Lord Krishna's Daily Activities. So Prabhupada in Krishna book, he writes in great detail. He writes that Krishna, he married 16,108 queens. So somebody may think, oh, Krishna also married and he's also enjoying. So, and his dealings with his wife is like ordinary dealing. So I can also do all those things which Krishna is doing. But who is Krishna? He married 16,000 queens, not one. Can we imitate that? So therefore, we should follow the instructions of Krishna. We should never imitate the activities of great souls. Tejiyasham na doshaye. One should not find faults in the activities of great personalities, and one should not imitate the activities of great personalities. We should follow the instructions of the scriptures, because sometimes even Supreme Lord speaks something which is not according to the scriptures, just to test the person, test the devotee. So therefore, the safest course is to follow the instructions given in the scriptures in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. You know, that's what Prabhupada writes. So Shukdev Goswami continues that uh, Krishna, he was living as a householder and he was performing his duties so perfectly that all the householders, Prabhupada writes, all the householders should follow and learn from the Supreme Lord how one should spend the entire day, how one should live a regulated life following the scriptural rules and regulations. So it is described that, like Krishna, when he would, in the Brahma Muhurat, when Krishna would get up, because all the crows would start chirping, the crows would, not crows, the cocks would start, making the sound, and the birds would start singing. All the wives of Krishna, they were most disturbed because they were, feeling, no, now we'll have to leave the association of Krishna. Our Lord will go and whole day he will not be there with us. So Rukmini Devi, whenever she would hear this morning all these sounds, she would actually curse, the all these sounds and the birds. So it is described that what would happen in the morning. In the morning, when the breeze would start blowing, the branches of the tree, they would start moving. Because of the swing of the branches, the honeycomb which was there on the branch would start shaking, and the honeybees would come out of that honeycomb and they would start moving around, buzzing. Because of the buzzing sound of the honeybees, the birds would get up from sleep and they would start chirping. And hearing the chirping of the birds, Krishna would get up. So after rising in the Brahma Muhurta time, Krishna would meditate on himself. And Prabhupada again writes that Krishna may meditate on himself. Prabhupada writes in Krishna book. But we cannot imitate, because Krishna's body and Krishna's soul, there is no difference. There is no separate designation for Krishna. Krishna's body and Krishna is one and the same. Our designation keeps changing life after life. Sometime in the body of a devata or a human or an animal or a plant. Our designation keeps changing. But Krishna's body is always the same. Avajananti mama mudha manushim tanumashritam param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. But the foolish people, they think, oh, when Krishna appears in the human form, then he gets covered by a material body. No, Krishna's body and Krishna is same. So therefore, every morning he would get up, Krishna would meditate on himself, and then he would take bath with sanctified water, and he would perform all the rituals. He would chant his Gayatri silently, very beautifully and nicely and perfectly in a regulated way. He would continue all his morning duties. He would every day in the morning, he would worship devatas, sages, all the pitris, all the elders of the family, and then he would give lots of charity to brahmanas. It is described, Chakravarti Thakur writes that daily he would give 13,084 cows to the learned brahmanas. And those cows, they were very, very well fed and beautiful cows covered with lots of jewelry and garments. So he was doing all these to set a standard so that people can follow the instructions and behavior of the Supreme Lord and can perfect their lives. So after doing all these duties, He would offer obeisances to the cows, to the brahmanas, to elders, to devatas, to spiritual masters, everybody would offer obeisances. And then he would touch lots of auspicious things, you know. And then after this, he would decorate his body with nice garments. He would wear flower garlands, ornaments. Although the ornaments which are put on the body of the Lord, they become beautiful by being on the body of the Lord. Param padam bhushana bhushanangam. Just like it is said that when Lord Ram exhibits some qualities, the qualities are glorified when they are exhibited by Lord Ram. Generally in this world, a person is glorified when he exhibits qualities. But when Lord Ram exhibits qualities, the qualities are glorified. Oh, Lord Ram is exhibiting such quality. So quality becomes glorious. So therefore, when Krishna, he puts all the ornaments on his body, the ornaments become all the more beautiful. And then after decorating himself, he would look at his own reflection in the mirror, and he would look at the ghee, cows, brahmanas, devatas, and then he would go and see all the members of the society, all the varnas and ashramas. Just by his glance, everybody would be pacified and satisfied. That's the beautiful nature of Krishna's glance. Chandrika Vishada Smerai Saruna Panga Vikshitai Swakarthanam Ivarajaha Satvabhyam Srishtipalakai. It is described that when we take darshan of the Lord when glances on the living entities, the glance of the Lord creates the desire for service. And the smile of the Lord destroys and evaporates the ocean of tears, ocean of lamentation, which is there in the heart of a living entity. So Lord's glance pacifies everybody and gives the desire to serve him. So Krishna, after serving, after offering obeisances, he would distribute lots of charity. He would give all these brahmanas garlands, sandalwood paste, and all the other jewelries. Every day he would do that. And then after this, the chariot driver Daruka, he would come along with his chariot. Chariot would be very nicely decorated, and Krishna, he would climb the chariot along with Satyaki and Uddhava. And then as he would be departing from the palace, all the queens, they would be looking shyly, smiling at Krishna, and with their glances, they were pleading, Krishna, please don't go. Please stay today. And Krishna would smile at them. And by their smiles, he would tell, by his smile, he would tell them, why are you so restless? You just wait, I'm coming in some time. I'm coming for lunch. So somehow with great difficulty, Krishna would leave the palace. And then as Krishna leaves the palace, now there are 16,108 Krishnas. So what happens to those Krishnas, all the expansions? They are actually Swayam Rupa expansions. They are not like expansions which are coming from Krishna. They are all Krishna personally. It is interesting that whenever Krishna leaves a particular palace, all the people who are surrounding that palace, they would not see any other Krishna. They would see only one Krishna. So all the palace members and the surrounding people, they would see only one Krishna. Nobody would see two Krishna or three Krishnas and so many Krishnas coming out of various palaces. They would see only one Krishna. And then when Krishna would reach the main road, he would come near Sudharma assembly. So all the Krishnas would become one, and then Krishna would enter the Sudharma assembly hall. In the Sudharma assembly, which was brought from Swarga, it was a very, very special place. It is said that anybody who enters this Sudharma palace, he will not suffer the six pangs of material nature: hunger, thirst, lamentation, illusion, old age, and death. So, till the time anybody is there inside that Sudharma palace, they would be free from all these things. All these material whips, they will not affect that person. So, Krishna, now he would enter and then he would sit on the throne surrounded by Yadus. It was, and he would look as if moon is surrounded by so many stars. He was very beautiful, effulgent, and just looking at Krishna was a festival. Then every day, so many of the entertainers and jesters and female dancers, they would come and perform for the pleasure of the Lord. So many performances were happening every day for the pleasure of the Lord. And all these performances, they were accompanied by various musical instruments like mridangas and veena and bheris and all the other various types of instruments, cymbals and conch shells. And then after the festival, after this performance, various professional reciters, which are called sutas, magadas, bandis, they would come and they would glorify Krishna. In the fourth canto also we had heard that when Prithu Maharaj, he appeared, all the reciters, professional reciters, they came and they started glorifying the Lord, glorifying Prithu Maharaj. So that's how all the kings, they would get so much of the praises, but all that praise, of course, Prithu Maharaj is the incarnation of the Lord. So all the praise is actually meant for Krishna. So all these reciters, they were so very happy when they were glorifying the Lord. And then the Brahmanas would come, they would recite various mantras. So once, as all these things were happening, Krishna was there in the Sudharma, an unknown man entered the palace. And he was escorted by the guards and he was brought in front of the Supreme Lord. So this person, he described that he's a messenger of the kings who were imprisoned by Jarasandha. So Jarasandha, he had imprisoned 20,000 kings, because when Jarasandha was on a victory excursion, all the kings who didn't surrender to him, he arrested all of them and imprisoned them in his fort Girivraja. And he had planned to sacrifice all these kings to Kal Bhairav or Mahabhairav. So this messenger, he was sent by the kings. So the messenger came and he started reading the message. Krishna Krishna Prameyatman Prapanna Bhaya Bhanjana Vayam Tvam Sharanam Yamo Bhava Bhita Pritagdhiya. O Krishna, Aprameyatma, O immeasurable one, we are surrendered unto you. And you are Prapanna Bhaya Bhanjana. Whoever surrenders to you, you make him free from fear. Abhaya Charana Ravindare. You are the giver of fearlessness. So therefore, please show mercy. Vayam Tvam Sharanam. We have come to your shelter. Although so far we had a separatist mentality, we were trying to enjoying on our own out of their humility. They are telling that we were trying to enjoy ourselves. We are separate. We are not performing service to you, but now we have come to your shelter. Please protect us. And in 6 verses, they tell their situation. They tell the fear of material existence. Loko vikarma nirata kushale pramatta karmanyayam twadudite bhavadarchane swe yastavadasya balavani jijivitasham sadya chinatya nimishaya namostu tasmai. So they are telling, Loko vikarma nirata, people, they are always engaged in sinful activities, and therefore they do not realize their real fortune. They do not realize the real duty. What is that? Bhavadarchanesve. The real duty of every living entity is to serve you, O my Lord. That is the real fortune of every living entity. But because of our hopes to enjoy in this world, you know, we have forgotten. But, O my Lord, in the form of time, you cut that stubborn hope for long life. With every rising and setting of the sun, the life is going on, decreasing, keeps decreasing. Therefore, they are telling that we were engaged in all the sinful acts and we forgot the real fortune which we have. So, therefore, every living entity in this world, they are supposed to serve the Supreme Lord. Yat karoshi, yad ashnasi, yad juhoshi, dadasi, yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva mad arpanam. Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, whatever we eat, whatever we do, whatever sacrifice, charity, it should be done for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. That's the purpose. This is a supreme commandment of the Lord for everybody. And this Krishna consciousness movement is working for this purpose. So the kings, they are telling, oh my Lord, we were inattentive. We didn't serve you. So therefore, we were inattentive to our benefits. Krishna say, what are those benefits? Were you inattentive in doing your pious activities? They say, no, my Lord. We were inattentive because we did not serve you. That's why now we are suffering. And you have appeared in this world, O my Lord, to protect the innocent, to punish the sinful people. That is the hope for us. How is it that, although you have come, it is so very astonishing that you have come to annihilate the miscreant, but how is it that Jarasandha is still enjoying? His power is increasing. How is it that? We are not able to understand. He is still prospering. It is not proper. And then they say, actually with the body, we have a body which is like corpse. We are carrying this burden of our family and the extended family, and we are rejecting the happiness of soul. We forgot you, O my Lord, and we are serving our family, our society. That is our misfortune. And therefore, my Lord, please release us from the shackles of karma. This Jarasandha, he is appearing in the form of our karmic activities. Please show mercy. Please release us from this karma. Krishna may say, you may do it yourself. He has strength of 10,000 mad elephants. And he has captured all of us just like lion captures the sheep. We cannot do anything. So therefore, O powerful one, please save us. You are unlimited and you have defeated Jarasandha 17 times. Only once it appeared that he defeated you. Although there was another purpose behind that. But because of that one victory, apparent victory, he became puffed up. And that's why he is creating so much trouble. He is tormenting all of us. So the messenger said, oh my Lord, this is the message from those kings. So please do something to bring them some good fortune. So as Krishna is hearing this message, Narad Muni arrives. Narad Muni has golden matted hair. He was looking very brilliant, effulgent. As soon as Krishna saw Narad Muni, immediately he got up. All the other members of the assembly also got up. Everybody welcomed Narad Muni, and Krishna said, very interestingly, very sweetly, saying, it is certain that today the three worlds have become fortunate, and three worlds have attained freedom from fear because, you know, by your influence, there can be nothing to fear because you have come, so all the fear is gone. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes that Krishna is telling, look, I am not asking for your welfare because you are a, how can any misfortune come upon you? It is impossible. It is improper to ask about your welfare because no misfortune can come upon a personality who is such a saintly and great devotee. You are a Brahmana. Brahmanas purify the entire world. And all the three worlds, they are free from fear now. So Narad Muni may say, well, how should I know this? How can I accept your statement? I am purifying all the worlds. Krishna says, because you travel. You keep traveling everywhere and you keep purifying. Mahadvichalanam nrinam grihinam dinachetasa nishreyasaya bhagavan kalpate nanyatha kvachit. Nanda Maharaj is telling to Gargacharya that great personalities like you travel only for the welfare of people. So Krishna is also telling that. So Krishna is telling that because of you, the entire world has become free from fear. And he's telling to Narad Muni, Krishna is telling, there is nothing for you to be known in the entire creation of God. Please tell us what our dear Pandavas are doing. And that's how Krishna is behaving, such like ordinary human, as if he is not knowing anything. He's telling, you are the knower of entire everything. Please tell us about our dear friends and relatives, Pandavas, what they are intending to do nowadays. So Narad Muni tells, oh my lord, I have seen you many times. I have seen your Maya, and you disguise yourself with all your energies, and it seems that you are an ordinary person, but you are the Supreme Lord. Who can understand your purpose? By your own will, you create, you maintain, and you destroy the entire universe. And therefore, living entities, they keep wandering in the cycle of birth and death. And but still, because you are asking, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what Yudhishthir Maharaj is going to do now. Yudhishthir Maharaj is intending to worship you in Rajasuya sacrifice. He wants to please you because actually he has nothing to gain in this world. In the first canto, it comes, even the Devatas were desiring the opulence of Yudhishthir Maharaj. Kim te kama suras parha mukund manasodvija adhijaharu mudam ragya shudhitasya yathetare. Yudhishthir Maharaj had everything. Then why he is doing Rajasuya? Not for the sovereignty of over all the places. He wants to glorify you. He wants to please you. That's why he is doing this great sacrifice, And then he tells, in that sacrifice, even great devatas will come, great sages will come, and everybody will get a chance to have your darshan. So therefore, he has invited you. And even outcasts, by hearing your glories, they also get purified. What to speak of if they get a chance to have your darshan, oh my lord, because you are the symbol of everything auspicious. The water which is coming from your foot wash, it purifies the three worlds. In the heavenly planets, Mandakini Ganga, in the Bhumandal, it is Ganga, it is in the lower planetary systems, Bhogavati. So everything about you is auspicious. So Shukadeva Goswami tells that, Yadus, they wanted to defeat Jarasandha. And now this messenger has come from the kings also, and the messenger from Yudhishthir Maharaj, and Narad Muni has come with the message of Yudhishthir Maharaj. So now Krishna started thinking what to do now. So Krishna, he turned towards Uddhava. Uddhava was expert in giving all kinds of good counsel. Although Krishna is Supreme Lord, he is omniscient, omnipotent, he does not need any help, any advice, but still, as a pastime, he is asking Uddhava, please tell us the best way, how we should proceed now. So Uddhava, he also, as a order of the Lord, he took that instruction and he started speaking. So that is the end of this chapter. So we'll discuss next time what Uddhava said. We'll discuss. Do you have any questions? Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai.